Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Jazzy Video Store Sasquatch here, and we are doing another Throwback Thursday. And for like no reason whatsoever, um, I picked two movies, a sequel on Hulu, from one from 2000 that is Shanghai Noon, directed by Tom Day, starring Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson, Lucy Liu, Roger Yan, and a Chinese man travels to the Wild West to rescue a kidnapped princess. After teaming up with a train robber, their unlikely duo takes on the Chinese trader and his corrupt boss. This came out May 26th in 2000. Budget of 55 mil. Opening weekend of 15 and a gross of $99.2 million. And that's a worldwide number there, because we'll talk about that just after we talk about the second movie. Alexander Barkley, and an early role for Walton Goggins here. He is the one that takes the crew from Roy in the beginning of the movie. We start in China, and we see the princess leaving with someone for America under false pretenses, and when she realizes she is kidnapped, it isn't until she's back in San Francisco, or Carson City, actually. Sorry, Carson City, because that's where John Wayne asks Roy to point him to in the beginning there, which sets Jackie Chan and a group of Chinese Imperial Guards to to the Wild West there area. And while they're doing this, Roy O'Bannon and his outlaw group are preparing to rob the train they are on. And from there, pretty much sets the story of John Wayne, who is Jackie Chan, and Roy O'Bannon teaming up and going into Carson City to save the princess and kill the bad guy, who is, I believe, Roger Yan and Alexander Berkeley. Um, yeah, it's a very good movie. It's on Hulu. That's why I watched it. And we're gonna talk about the second one. That's why I just watched it. Especially since we were talking about like all the old blockbuster movies, like action blockbusters, summer movies. I remembered this isn't exactly a summer blockbuster, but it is a spring, May 26th, maybe like late spring, Memorial Day kind of blockbuster, especially at 15 million and 99.2 million worldwide gross, which is awesome. Um, it is crazy because see how they always tell you that the budget is what the old budget is doubled for the advertising or whatever. There's no way they would have made a sequel to this movie if that was true, and it only made like 40. It wouldn't have made money. It would have been under, and then you know what I mean. So that's a little bit of proof there, especially in 2000. Jackie Chan was so hot here. He's coming off Rush Hour. He's coming off of that nanny movie he did, or a house spy movie he did. There's so many just good Jackie Chan movies throughout this whole era. We don't really talk about it much on this channel just because we don't do many martial arts movies. If we did, we would constantly be like, "Well, this is Jackie Chan. This is like Jackie Chan." I believe the one like remake movie came out from China. The Drunken one came out around this time, which was kind of a dud, but this one definitely made money. It was definitely awesome. I remember as a kid, I remember going to the theater and watching it. I remember enjoying it. I remember Owen Wilson being funny. As you look back today, like some of the jokes, even though they're like risky, they're not too risky. They could almost fly today, um, which is a testament to them. I think it was only PG-13 back in the day, so it's awesome. Great action sequences, and it's funny. It's always funny in the Jackie Chan movies to watch them because he's doing the action, but when he's fighting these guys, it turns him from like a guy that looks like me to a guy that looks like a Chinaman and is like half my size, so or half the original guy's size, and he's choreographing with Jackie Chan there, but it's still always worth watching. I mean, you've never watched this movie just because you're like younger or don't know what it is, and you just watch it and you're seeing it on Hulu. Go ahead and watch it. It's funny. You'll enjoy it. It's kind of like a Western martial artist movie. That is Shanghai Noon, directed by Tom Day. The second movie we're going to talk about here is Shanghai Nights, directed by David Dopkins, starring Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson, Fawn Wong, and Aaron Taylor Johnson. When a Chinese rebel murders John's estranged father and escapes to England, John and Roy make their way to London with revenge on their mind. This came out on February 7th, 2003. It had a budget of 50 mil, had an opening of 19.6 million, and had a gross of 88.3. Like I said, those numbers are both worldwide, but what was actually kind of crazy is this is not only is the opening better, which is an always American number, but actually it did better in America than the first one, with 60 million compared to a 56 million from the first one. I think the Americans really wanted this movie. I think that we really honestly could have did a third movie where we got Owen Wilson going to China or something to with Chow Wayne and like just fucking up China, like ancient China or 1800 China. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd been funny. There's a lot of good inside jokes here with Sherlock Holmes and um, Charlie Chaplin and stuff like this, kind of coming from these guys. There's like a little rib here to kind of put an American spirit into it. Aidan Gillen, who is in Game of Thrones, is also in this, and Donnie Yen, and they're both the bad guys. And I think that's just what Aidan Gillen is supposed to do, is just play like kind of like a manipulative asshole bad guy because he does such a good job in this movie. Just wanting you to not like him. That I think I even remember just not liking him from this movie. That when he instantly was in Game of Thrones, I just didn't like him, or anytime I see him, I just don't like him. I don't ever remember him playing like a very decent character, straight up. But anyways, and then also, so we start with this. We basically start with them in China, and we see Aidan Gillen's character and Donnie Yen's character kind of take John Wayne's dad out with his sister there. And after that, news gets into John Wayne when he is in his town as a sheriff, and he looks for Roy to get the gold, and that he was from the first movie, and that to kind of like because he needs to go to London to avenge his father. Eventually, they find a way to London. Both of them do. After he meets up with them, that's kind of where everything takes off. That's where we meet Charlie, who's Aaron Taylor Johnson, the kid, and he ends up kind of being famous now. It's just crazy. 22 years later. Just crazy how Hollywood works and how long you can be in movies and stuff like this, and not many people will recognize it or even know. Um, oh, I know I kind of said I don't understand why I never got a third one of these. I think that most of it was because of Jackie Chan fatigue, and he was doing both the stunts and starring in a lot of these movies, so he was like just putting his body through hell at the same time and trying to like speak a second language and be funny and be like relevant. So I can understand like him kind of maybe like wearing out after a while there, especially like the run he was on, because it was like one or two movies a year for like 6 years. But we got a good decent Jackie Chan, including like Rush Hours, The Spy Next Doors, and Tuxedo, stuff like that. So this a big one in time for Jackie Chan there. So he was very good. Um, that is Shanghai Nights, directed by David Dobkin. And now let's talk about the box office for the week here. It's February 7th to the 9th. Wait, no, that's not right. Sorry, I was looking at another note. Box office of July 18th to 20th. I'm like, we're not in February. That does not sound right at all. July 18th to July 20th. Superman had a $58.5 million weekend. The total gross of $253.2 million. Pretty impressive. I'm gonna say it now. The I was wrong to feel like DC would kind of fail with this. I guess I figured it'd be a bomb. It's not a bomb. It's doing very good. It's continuing its growth. Everyone's very happy with what's going on with it, especially if you listen to the news. So I was wrong. I think it was pretty average for a superhero movie, and I think that a lot of things that went wrong with the Marvel movies of late are very prevalent in this movie. But that is my opinion, and I guess I can be wrong. Jurassic World Rebirth, $23.7 million weekend. It's sticking around with $284.4 million total. And the new movie this weekend is I Know What You Did Last Summer at $12.8 million. Um, I watched it. I liked it. Like I said, I didn't like. Nah, I didn't. I liked parts of it. Didn't like parts of it. And just I thought it was another one of those average kind of reboot legacy movies. And Smurfs, total $11.1 million. This was its first weekend. That's pretty good for a kids movie. Um, Especially with no advertising. I didn't even know there was a new Smurfs movie coming out. And F1 missed the list by only 100,000, 9.9 million. We're still talking about it, so there we go there. Let's see here. The one thing we're obviously talking about, um, Ozzy died. Ozzy Osbourne has passed away yesterday, July 22nd. So there's the biggest news in entertainment there. Obviously, I call myself Jazzy. I was a big Ozzy fan as a kid. Continue to be Ozzy fan as an adult, and it's kind of bumming, but it's all for the best when you think about it and see kind of the last parts of him, the last concert with him in it, and I'm sure his family are mourning him and are also kind of happy for to know that he is in peace. Also, I read this article about Superman. Okay, so I read like three articles about the Superman movie. I can't do. I'm not even trying to pick it apart, but I kind of get what the one author is saying compared to the other author is. Basically, the first author is saying that this movie is killing Man of Steel, and they show the numbers without inflation, which is kind of right to do because I mean that is what it is. But when we're talking about inflation, we're talking about people and numbers. That this number that was going, of course, going to be bigger now because just the cost of a movie compared to back then. So when you bring it in and it has, of course, it's on par. It's even a little bit ahead. Man Steel is a little bit of ahead of where Superman is now. But that's not really what I want to talk about. The one thing I really want to talk about is how James Gunn kind of said that worldwide, maybe Superman isn't appealing as much. But when you look at the numbers from the inflated numbers and from just the numbers overall of the original Man of Steel, it's clearly more receptive worldwide than it was in America. So I think that the problem of this is, especially with the Superman, like I said, um, is it's not going to be American enough for people who want to be American. It's going to be too American for people that hate America. So you're kind of stuck in the middle here, especially when you're talking about the stuff like that um, with just worldwide audiences there. So it's great that it's doing good in America. I'm glad. I wish it did have a worldwide audience. I don't really care about the worldwide audience. I care more about the American audience, but it's just something that I found interesting. I thought I'd talk about and kind of like try to talk myself out of what I was thinking with it. But the whole point is I think that I just think that everyone that especially today with these numbers, it's so easy to come up with, oh well, this movie did better than this movie, but we don't talk about inflation and stuff like this, and it's like three times amount. So think about when I said that the budget was 35 million for Shanghai Noon. Let's say it's like two and a half times what it is, because I think that's about right for inflation. Is 110, 100, so that's 135 million, but it also made 300 million, almost 300 million dollars in today's money. So just like think about like that when we're talking about these numbers and some of these older movies like that, because like some of these older movies, it's like, oh, well, what the fuck, they only cost $15 million to make, and it's like, no, it really does. It really did cost that of what they're making today. And it's crazy to think that there's no way that we'd get a $153 million studio comedy like this coming out today. But we got that $55 million comedy in 2000. And it was a very, very well received. Obviously, even the American audience loved it even the second time through. So maybe some of the stuff that we're thinking about these studios, these major franchises and stuff like this, we might need to go back a little bit. Let's get some more like original stories and let's put them out there and get them out there. It's kind of my point with everything. Um, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and please have a good rest of your night. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section, and see you next time in the cave.